Okay, so dude, I have been wanting to do this forever, talk about the steps, but because the tradition is anonymity and all this stuff is why I never have. The only reason I'm doing it right now is because my channel has 2 subscribers and I average, I don't, you know, I'm not getting any views, which is fine with me. See, what that does is it frees me up to be able to talk about something that I wouldn't otherwise talk about. Because I don't have, my videos aren't getting like 50, 100 views. My videos are getting very low, if any views, outside of my own self reviewing my videos. So the steps, dude, the steps. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not saying it is the answer, but I'm saying it is an answer. If there is a person that's like Neo, that's what Neo was doing. Neo, Trinity broke it down. Trinity even said, she said, it's not Morpheus that you're looking for. It's the question that drives us. You know the question just as I. What is the matrix? The question, if it's the question that's driving me, that means I'm looking for the answer. I'm looking for an answer to the question. So that's what Neo was looking for, an answer. It was the question that drove him. It wasn't Neo, it wasn't Morpheus. I keep mixing. It wasn't Morpheus that he's looking for. It's the question that's driving him. It's the question that he's seeking an answer to. Okay? Now, if you have already found an answer to the question, well then that's good for you. But if there are people in the world that are driven by the question and are seeking an answer to the question, the matrix is just an allegory for the question. The question is the question. Okay? It's the question. If a person hasn't found an answer, if you found an answer to the question, well, good for you. What about all these people that haven't found an answer to the question? For everyone else that hasn't found an answer to the question, the 12 steps claims to be an answer to the question that drives you. It's the question that drives you. It isn't Morpheus that you're looking for, it's the question. You know the question just as I do. And if you're seeking an answer, not the answer, an answer to the question, the steps says that it is an answer. It is not the one and only answer of all answers, and there is nothing else but the steps. See, if you're looking for that, there's all kinds of things that claim itself to be the answer. 12 Steps has never claimed itself to be the answer. The 12 Steps has only just as simply as Morpheus offering the pills to Neo. I'm simply offering you the truth, nothing more. I'm not offering you a blast off on DMT to an exotic wonderland of ecstasy and stuff. I'm just simply offering the truth. That's it. That's all. Nothing more. Remember when Morpheus was saying that to Neo? All I'm offering you is the truth. Nothing else. So if you're looking for an exotic DMT blast off of ecstasy and orgasmic experience, well, you're in the wrong place. Maybe you need to go hang out with the DMT people and Joe Rogan. Go watch some more Joe Rogan and some of this other garbage. Just go fucking hang out with all this other shit. But If you're looking for the orgasmic ecstasy engulfing fucking blast off of DMT, exciting, then Morpheus wasn't. All Morpheus said is, all I'm offering you is the truth. That's it. Simple. Very simple. So if you're not looking for that, and you're looking for an orgasmic DMT blast-off experience, well then you can just go and believe whatever you want to believe. Go ahead. That shit is everywhere. It's all around you. You've got all kinds of snake oil salesmen offering you that. You've got all these different snake oil salesmen pitching you that they have the answer. They have the answer. They're everywhere. Again, 12 Steps has never proclaimed itself that. It has always only proclaimed itself as an answer. As simply as Morpheus offered Neo. He said, all I'm offering you is the truth, nothing more. It's very simple. So it's an answer. Now, if you have already found an answer, then you're not Neo. That's the story of the Matrix doesn't apply to you. You know, you've already moved beyond that, and that's good for you. Good for you. But for the rest of us that are still, all we see is snake oil salesmen that are offering these fake answers and shit. And we're still seeking Morpheus. There's all these people that know that there's snake oil salesmen everywhere. There's agents everywhere, useful idiots everywhere. And they're seeking an answer. They're looking for the proverbial Morpheus, which isn't really Morpheus they're looking for, because it's the question that drives them. And you know the question just as I do. And they're seeking an answer, not the answer. They're just looking for an answer. You know, the truth. That's it. That's all they want. Okay. The 12 steps claims to be an answer of just the truth. All it is the truth, nothing more. It doesn't involve blasting off on DMT and having orgasmic DMT experiences and licking frogs' assholes and eating mushrooms and all this shit. It's nothing like that. It's just the truth. That's all that it's offering is just like Morpheus said. All I'm offering you is the truth, nothing more. That's it. So don't expect. Okay. So then this guy Neo, for some reason, decides to trust Morpheus. Despite that there's snake oil salesmen everywhere, there's all these snake oil salesman agents and snake oil salesman useful idiots all over the place, everywhere. Despite this fact, Neo decides, okay, I might as well try it because I'm surrounded by a bunch of useful idiots and agents anyways. So, you know, I got nothing to lose. That's really what Neo was. That's really what's being portrayed is that Neo just doesn't really have anything to lose to try it. Because the worst that could happen is it's just more of the same bullshit that he's already surrounded by everywhere anyways. So that's the worst that could happen. Well, you know, so it's just the logical sequence of events is like, okay, I'll try it. Okay. And to get to another point is, so the Matrix debunks the idea of self-sufficiency. And you might think, no, it doesn't. Neo's Superman. Look at him flying around and this and that. Without Morpheus and Trinity and Mouse and Cypher and Bulldozer and the crew, the Nebuchadnezzar crew, Neo would either be still trapped in the Matrix or he would be dead. So where is your theory of self-sufficiency when it comes to the movie The Matrix? Like, they saved Neo's very fucking life, and he was completely helpless. He was completely helpless to them. So this is my question to you. Are you that dedicated to the truth that you would allow yourself to be in the hands, be completely helpless and in the hands of a group of strangers on the Nebuchadnezzar? Are you willing to go to that length for the truth? Are you? Or are you just exempt from that? You're better than Neo, right? You can jump even higher buildings with a single bound than Neo, right? You know, see, when Neo gets unplugged and forced down the fucking toilet sewers and into the fucking sewage, he was totally and completely helpless to Morpheus and the Nebuchadnezzar crew. He was completely helpless. And they had to go take their mechanical arm down into the sewers and pull him up out of the sewers. Otherwise, he would have drowned in the sewers and he'd be dead. So what happened to Neo's awesome supernatural self-reliance? Well, it was completely gone. He was completely helpless and had to 100% rely on Morpheus and the Nebuchadnezzar crew to pull him out. And that's what I'm saying. Are you willing to go to that length for the truth, for an answer to the question? Because Neo was in the movie. The character Neo was. And also that this is the seriousness of which the Matrix is. This is the seriousness of enslavement of the Matrix. And this is the seriousness of the process of freeing oneself from the prison that is the Matrix. So if you think that you have become freed from the Matrix, let me ask you a question. Did you go through all that shit that Neo did? Maybe in your mind you did, and maybe you did, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. But all this bullshit about self-reliance that is being pushed all around, like, oh, self-reliance and stuff. That's not the way the Matrix went. Neo was completely at the mercy of Morpheus. And on top of that, Neo was willing to be led. You know, instead of being a leader, Neo acknowledged that Morpheus was the guy that he needed, and that he needed to listen to Morpheus. He needed to be humbled to asking Morpheus and to accepting Morpheus's leadership. You don't see Neo arguing with Morpheus, generally speaking. But you also don't see Morpheus abusing his power as an expert on the Matrix. So there's a symbiotic relationship going on between Neo and Morpheus. But nonetheless, Morpheus has to lead Neo to the truth. Neo isn't self-sufficiently doing it on his own. And not only is he not self-sufficiently doing it on his own, Neo is completely and utterly helplessly at the mercy of Morpheus. Now, here again, are you willing to go to those lengths to allow someone else to lead you to the point where you are completely, helplessly at the mercy of that person? Are you willing to go to those lengths? Have you gone through that? And again, people can say, oh yeah, I've already transcended the Neo thing. I'm above Neo now. I'm like the ascended level of Neo. You see all these bullshitters everywhere. Bullshitters, snake oil salesmen, useful idiots, agents, they're everywhere. They're just bullshitters and liars and useful idiots and potential agents, and they all have all these pitch lines. Oh, I've already done what I've already been through what Neo did, and I'm awake and red-pilled. And how many of those do you think actually have and aren't just full of shit? And so, but you yourself might believe, well, I have done, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But again, but I'm talking about the 12 steps. I'm talking about the 12 steps. So this is exactly what the 12 steps requires, is for you to take on the role of Neo, where you first you have to be willing and you have to agree, yes, I will allow someone who is familiar with the 12 steps to guide me through them, since I know absolutely nothing about the 12 steps. Okay? Absolutely nothing. I don't know anything about the 12 steps. And I'm curious about it because it has been rumored that it is an answer to the question that drives us. You know the question just as I did. And that the 12 steps offer an answer, not the answer, not the Jim Jones cult answer. It's just simply an answer. All it's offering, all the 12 steps is offering you is the truth, nothing more. Not a DMT blast of orgasmic ecstasy experience. Just all it's offering is the truth. That's it. So you can take the offer, or you can just believe whatever you want to believe. You want to believe that the 12 steps is bullshit. It's just a religion. It's just Masonic Freemasonry. It's just more Illuminati. It's just a cult, blah, blah, blah. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It's like, I can believe that this lighter isn't real. And I can go on the internet and I can try to convince everybody that this isn't real. That this is all a, this is all not real. And so, okay, I can believe that this lighter isn't real and this flame isn't real. And I can just go on believing it and everything. Or I can do the acid test. If I don't think this flame is real, let me put it to the acid test. Let's see. Feels pretty burny to me. Oh, I could light my hair on fire. But do I want to do that? Especially since I just did the acid. Put the 12 steps to the acid test. Stop talking shit. The only way to discover whether or not the 12 steps is just Illuminati, Freemason, cult, bullshit, religion, la la, is to actually do it. Just like to find out whether or not this flame is real, put it to the acid test. Put the flame to my skin and see how synthetic and you know what I'm saying? So, and then the whole thing about self-reliance. Was Neo self-reliant? Nope. Neo had to completely put his trust and dependence on Morpheus and Trinity and all these people that he'd never even met before. Those are the lengths that Neo was willing to find the truth to the question. I mean, that you would have to be pretty desperate to put your entire life in the hands of a group of strangers that you never even met in your life. Again, have you gone to those lengths to find an answer to the question, what is the matrix? Have you truly gone to those lengths where you have put all of your dependence and basically your life in the hands of a group of complete strangers? I would argue you haven't. Yet all these people claim to be red-pilled. And then it goes even further than that, because then those people had to save Neo. So they pulled him out of the sewer. They had to lay him on the bed or whatever. And then all that time, they had to take all that time and care and effort and energy to bring him back. Remember, he looked at Morpheus and he said, "Am I dead?" And Morpheus is like, "Far from it, Neo. Far from it." I mean, they could have just fucked him. They could have just P. Diddy'd that motherfucker with the GBH baby oil all day long, and then threw him in the fucking sewer and flew their Nebuchadnezzar off into the sunset. You know, they did all this stuff to get this guy healed. And he's like, what's wrong with my eyes? And Morpheus has to explain to him, you've never even used them. This is the profound experience with the 12 steps. It's the same, it's the exact identical thing. Putting trust in a bunch of people that I don't know, and the whole grueling process. And like I referenced in the last video, when Morpheus finally does show Neo, look, you've been living in a dream world. Welcome to the desert of the real. And Morpheus explains to him, they're trying to turn us all into fucking batteries. And then Neo's like, no, get me out of here. Get me out of here. See, he loses trust in him. He's like, fuck you, get away from me. You guys are fucking crazy. You're just as fucked up as everything else. Get the fuck away from me. See? That's what I'm saying. You have to look at all this. Why did Neo trust them? Why did he question his trust in them? Would you trust the 12 steps? Maybe, but even if you started the steps, you get 1 or 2 steps in, and you're going to do the same thing as Neo. You're going to be like, fuck this. This is fucking just more. This is just more free masonry. This is just more Illuminati. Fuck this. Get this shit away from me. Get away from me. You know. This is the fucking true process of becoming awake, you know, getting red pilled. And dude, you got so many fake red pilled people that claim they're red pilled, and they are totally clueless as to anything that's going on at all. They have no fucking clue what the fuck is going on. So, you know, I mean, The Matrix is just an amazing movie. And I have to say, I'm like Morpheus. If I can find people that will trust me enough and allow me to show them the 12 steps, like I would love to do it. But it's like a needle in a haystack. It's just like how Morpheus spent all that time looking for the one, and then he was, you know, all that time. Like nobody wants to go through the process to get red pilled. Nobody does. They want to be awakened, but they don't want to go through the process that Neo did of getting flushed down the toilet and all that shit. They all want the red pill. They all want the benefits of the red pill, but they don't want to do the work that is required taking the red pill. That's what the steps are, is the work. That's getting flushed down the proverbial toilet and having to be helplessly dependent on other people to help you and to pull you up. And then to show you this is the next step. This is what this is. This is what you and to be led to let go of your ego and gain humility and allow Morpheus to actually show you, instead of just thinking, well, you're better than Morpheus and Morpheus is just a cult leader and on and on and on.